Hello, learners. I am Parikshit, and welcome to this very exciting session on the Unacademy 99 Percentile Club. This is a special XAT 2023 class, and remember, with just a couple of days, or if I may say, just a few hours remaining for the XAT, it's important that you spend this last few hours revising some really amazing caselets. Remember, decision making is one section which is very scoring, and I'm sure this Sunday, the 8th of January, lot of my students will end up with a 99 plus percentile in the XAT and obviously a 99 plus percentile in the decision making. That's how confident I am, and I believe you are equally confident. This is going to be an exciting class. I picked up some amazing complex decision making caselets. You're going to learn a lot in this specific session. And remember, we do all our caselets using our three-step framework, right? Let's get started. I'm just making sure that I'm streaming live. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I think we have streaming live. Let's get started. Okay, CAT 2022 toppers. Uh, I'm really proud about the slide, right? 75 plus learners from Unacademy have scored 99 plus percentile in the CAT 2022. And over 110 plus learners have scored 98 plus percentile. So if you wish to be a topper and if you wish to see your name amongst the toppers in CAT 2023, do enroll with us because the CAT 0 to Zenith batch is starting on January 5th. You might wish to enroll for this batch. And remember the good news. Till tonight, Jan 6 midnight, we are giving flat 23% off on all our Unacademy subscription products. So if you are a CAT 2023 aspirant, please feel free to subscribe to Unacademy Plus using the code which is given at the bottom of your screen, Parikshit Live. If you use this code, you will get maximum discounts, 23% up till January 6th, which is tonight, 11:59 p.m. And the second best part, you know what? You get free mentorship from my side. What is free mentorship? It's all about helping you beyond the class hours. If you subscribe to Unacademy Plus using the code Parikshit Live, you will get free mentorship, which is all about helping beyond your class hours. So at any point of time, you have a query, you have a doubt, you can get in touch with me over a call and get your query resolved one-on-one if you have joined Plus using the code Parikshit Live. Let's get started with today's session. And yeah, this is an important thing, right? The YouTube session. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I must tell you the schedule for January 7, which is Saturday. January 7, Saturday, right? The schedule is tomorrow I'm gonna take a couple of classes. I will say tomorrow is basically one class, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We are gonna talk all about IIM Ranchi. Remember, most of you, you know that IIM Ahmedabad is good. You know that IIM Bangalore is good. But what about colleges like IIM Ranchi? How are their placements? What are their cutoffs? What type of questions do they ask during the interviews? Each and every detail about IIM Ranchi will be shared tomorrow evening, Jan 7, 5 to 6 p.m. Okay? And January 8, Sunday, it's a D-Day for you. I know that you all are writing the XAT, but Sunday, January 8, also I am going to take a couple of classes, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We are going to talk about IIM Rohtak. IIM Rohtak, okay? And from January 8, 10 p.m., remember we are done with our decision-making classes. You would have been done with your XAT. I am going to teach you finance. Yeah, you heard it correct. Remember, most of you will be appearing for MBA interviews. And if you want to learn the basics of finance, okay, finance-based fundas which are required from an interview perspective, I'm going to teach you from January 8th, and you're going to love this. Remember, you don't need any basics of finance. You don't need to know anything. I'm going to teach you from ground zero finance. And trust me, if you attend all these sessions, right, you are going to learn a lot. And the best part is you'll be able to answer your interview with ease. One very common question in the interviews is, what specialization would you want to opt for? And if you want to answer that as finance, Trust me, these are the videos of mine that you're going to attend, right? Okay, chalo. Let's get started. Let's get started with today's class. Okay, let's start. First question on your screen. 2 minutes, all yours. Okay, I see people commenting. Hello, Laksh. Hello, Akash. Sakshi is saying, Sakshi Kundra is saying, amazing content. Thank you. Naman, Nanlal, Akash, Shivani. Good evening, everyone. 2 minutes, all yours. Try to get me an answer. These are managerial questions, right? Trust me, Jan 8, when you go and write the ZAT, keep some things in mind. How are you going to behave as a manager? That's it. How are you going to behave as a manager? Nothing unethical, right? You're not going to do something which is against the rules of the business. No emotions, no sympathy. These are got to be professional managerial decisions. Yes? You get the answer, type the answer. Okay, I see Naman telling me option B. The cooler telling me option B. Okay, gonna check. I see people marking option B. Whether it's correct or wrong, we don't know, but we will check. We will check. We will check. Any other answer? Laksh also tells me option B. Okay, gonna check. Prishita tells me option B as well. Okay. Chalo. In the interest of time, shall we get started? Any other answer? Any other answer? Shalu tells me option B as well. Any other answer? Everyone agrees? Option B. Soumya also option B. Okay. I mean, everyone is saying one answer. Fine. We'll check if this is correct. Let's get started. In the interest of time, let's get started. Okay. The city of Nagar has a population of 10 million. 2 million amongst whom were rich, 3 million poor, and 5 million belong to the middle class. Okay. Saundarya Cosmetics manufactured and sold beauty product to rich class at a premium price. Its products were very popular with customers. Okay. Many people from middle and poor segments of the population aspired to buy these products but could not afford because of high prices. Of late, sales growth was stagnating in the rich segment. Which of the following is the best option for Saundarya Cosmetics to maximize long-term profits? Okay. Now remember, you have a cosmetic company, which is a very high-end cosmetic, right? You can think about Apple in your minds. It's an Apple product, very popular with customers, but the problem is it's a premium price. So only rich people can afford it. So people who belong to the middle and poor class can only aspire to buy these products, but they cannot because of their high prices. Now the problem is growth is stagnating, right? Growth is stagnating. Sales are not improving. So the question is, what is the best option for the company to do under such circumstances? That was step one. What did I do? I summarized it. Step two would be pre-thinking. What is step two? Step two got to be pre-thinking. What is pre-thinking? Pre-thinking is all about trying to think about the answer without looking at the options. Think about it. Your thing is stagnating. Your products are stagnating. Stagnating, madam, remaining constant. The sales are not increasing. What should you do? And they are saying it's stagnating in the rich segment. So don't you think you should target the other segments? If growth is stagnating in a country, if growth is stagnating in a state or a segment, you should try a different segment. As simple as that. That's going to be my thought process. Try a different segment. That's going to be my thought process. But then when you try a different segment, think about it. Remember, Apple products are very expensive. But if Apple has to probably attract the middle class, it has to come out with a different product. A product which has got less features and hence a bit less expensive. Don't you think that's the best way? Can you give the same premium product to the middle class and the poor for a lower price? No, you can't. So if you are targeting a poor or the middle class segment, you got to give them a product, but make sure that the product has got less premium features, right? Because you anyway cannot afford to give all the features at a lower price. That's gonna be my thought process. That's my pre-thinking. Let's get started with that option. Okay. Pehla wala. Sell the same products at lower prices to middle and poor classes. This is going to be very unethical. If you are charging one price to Mukesh Ambani and another price to Parikshit Saikia, right? Same product. Don't you think it's unethical? Highly unethical, right? Because you can't be selling the same product but charging different customers different prices. That's unethical, and anything which is unethical can never be the answer in your ZAT. Option A cannot be the answer. Option C, sell its products under different brand names to middle and poor classes. Now think about it. Different brand names to middle and poor classes. Can you just change the brand name and sell it to middle and poor classes? Do you think it is gonna be unethical as well? Absolutely. You cannot say a product is A to someone and then another guy you can say the product is B. You just cannot change the brand name like that and sell the product. That is again unethical. Cannot be your answer. D. Continue to target rich only and hope that today's middle class would be tomorrow's rich class. I told you several times in my classes, anything which has an if condition can never be your best answer in the ZAT. ZAT may koi bhi, not only in this particular caselet, in any caselet, if you come across an answer option which has an if, agar aisa hua to, that can never be an answer. Why? D made is based on hope. Can managers make decisions based on hope? Can Modi ji come up with a policy where he's hoping that something will happen? No, right? As managers, you will never make decisions based on hope. Remember that in the ZAT, which is less than 48 hours away now, right? So hope पे कोई भी decision manager नहीं लेगा. Option D can never be your answer. Option E, target middle class as it is the largest segment and forget about the rich. Do you do that? Can you just forget about one segment? Remember, the current segment is the rich people. Your current customers are the rich people. Can you just forget about them? No, that's not what a manager would do. Option A also can be easily eliminated. Answer is option B. Good. Many of you got this correct. I appreciate that. Perfect. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? If you have a doubt, feel free to ask. Any doubt? Clear? Clear? Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Number 2 on your screen. I'll give you 2 minutes. Think about it logically. Think about it logically. Remember, you don't need any prior knowledge to solve ZAT decision-making questions. These are just common sense questions. That's it. Common sense and thoda bahut, I would say, managerial thinking. That's all you need. That's it. And a 99 percentile is all yours. Okay. Soumya is quick, tells me that the answer is option A. Okay, we will check. Naman is saying A. Vedanshi is saying A. Ronak is saying A. क्या बात है? सब लोग agree करता है. I think that's something I like about this batch, right? Everyone seems to agree. Okay, I am not saying A is the correct answer. I am not saying A is the correct answer. I'm just marking what people are telling me. Anyone who has a different answer? Anyone who has a different answer? Nanlal, the cooler, everyone's telling me option A. Okay, we will check. Any other answer? Ayushi also A. Okay, gonna check. Any other answer? Any other answer? No? Everyone seems to agree. Everyone getting the same answer? Is it? Okay. Chalo, let's do it together then. If that's the case, let's do it together and check if you're getting it correct. Okay, start karte. Seema was a finance manager in an MNC and felt that gender discrimination at the workplace hampered her career growth. Okay. Frustrated, she quit the job and started a company. While starting a company, Seema decided that she would have equal proportion of males and females. Okay. Over the last 6 years, Seema emerged as a very successful entrepreneur and expanded her business to 8 locations in the country. However, Seema recently started facing an ethical dilemma because she realized that female employees were not willing to travel across cities and work late hours as the work required them to do so. Male employees did not hesitate undertaking such work. Seema started to feel the pressure of reducing the proportion of female employees. On the other hand, she is aware that equal representation was one of the strongest reasons for her to have founded the company. What should she do as a conscientious female entrepreneur? Now, my first step is please summarize it. You have read a long English paragraph. You should be able to summarize it in your own words in your mind. So let's summarize it. Okay. So basically, there was a lady. The lady left her job because there was gender discrimination at her workplace. What is gender discrimination? Probably people distinguishing boys and girls, right? Probably girls are being paid less, as an example. So she left her job because of gender discrimination. She started her own company. Okay. And what she did in the company, she always wanted equal proportion of males and females in the company. So probably 50-50%. But now what she is realizing is that female employees do have some disadvantage. And what are the disadvantage? Some of them are not willing to travel and probably work late hours. But male employees did not have any such disadvantage. Now Seema is having a dilemma. What should she do? The dilemma is, should she employ more males? But then if she wants to employ more males, she remembers the time when she started the company with a very basic principle that she's going to have equal proportion of males and females. So as a female employee herself, as a female entrepreneur herself, what she should do? I spent 40 seconds, trust me, summarizing. Someone might say, sir, why you are summarizing? But when I summarize, you know what? I gain that confidence that I have understood the passage. I'm being able to recall what I have read. And now if I read the questions, I think I'm more confident rather than you just reading and looking at the questions, right? So don't do that. Summarize it. That's step one. And step two, as I always say, let's do a pre-thinking. Let's do a pre-thinking. Remember that some exam, right? There are certain principles. I keep telling you, if your company has a set of rules, has a set of principles, you are never gonna violate them in the XAT exam. हो सके तुम बचपन सही में अगर open कर लिया company, you might do that, but in the XAT exam you are never ever gonna violate any principle, any rule. Okay, and decisions are not based on emotions, decisions are based on logic. Now this company was founded on the premise that you would have equal proportion of males and females. And now she is giving you certain disadvantages of female employees. What are that? That they are not willing to travel and probably work late hours. So my pre-thinking would be, you know what? Do not violate the principle. Let's have equal number of males and females. But why don't you give them work which doesn't require them to travel or probably work late hours? Simple, right? Both sides satisfied, right? Business is not suffering and you are also not violating the principle. So give ladies work. So my solution would be give ladies work, okay, which require less travel, less travel and less night shifts and less night shifts. That's it, right? Less night shifts. Night shifts. I think that would be a solution where the principle is not violated. Even ladies who are unwilling to do something, we're not forcing them to do something. That would be the ideal solution. I have not read the options, but that's what is coming to my mind. With that pre-thought, let's get started. People have marked option A, so I'm going to come to option A at the end. So let's start with B. Reduce the number of female employees. That is the business requirement. She should not let anything affect her business. Can you do that? If your company has been founded on a principle, you cannot violate that principle, right? You cannot violate that. So option B simply violates the founding principle of the company, which is incorrect. C, let the status quo continue. As a manager, this is never going to be your answer in the ZAT. If there is a problem, you are going to solve it. Status quo will never ever continue in the ZAT exam. Never ever that can be the answer. D, henceforth hire only male employees. Again, galat hai. You are violating a principle. E, she should close the business. Will you close the business? Absolutely not. Answer is yes. Yes. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay. 2 minutes. All yours. 2 minutes. All yours. So someone is saying, Akash is saying, sir, fast food up, getting late and feeling sleepy. Akash, 48 hours or 36 hours before the ZAD, you can't be feeling sleepy. I would suggest have a cup of strong coffee. Try this. 2 minutes. All yours. Naman is saying option A. Okay. Gonna check. Gonna check. We'll have to check. Soumya is saying option A as well. Gonna check. We will have to check that. Any other answer? I'm just marking what people are telling me in the YouTube comments. We'll have to check. The cooler tells me option A as well. Gonna check. Any other answer? Akash tells me option A as well. Okay. Okay. Ayushi A. Anshita A. Okay. Lot of A's. Nanlal A. क्या बात है सबको एक ही आंसर दे रहा है but till now people have getting it up are getting it correct. We'll check if this is correct. Priyanka tells me A as well. Okay. Chalo. I think we will do it together. In the interest of time, let's do it together. Chalo, let's start. A database software manufacturing company found out that a product it has launched recently had a few bugs. Okay, bugs means errors, defects. The company has already been bought by more than 1 million customers. The product has already been bought by more than 1 million customers. The company realized that bugs could cost its customers significantly. However, if it informs the customers about the bug, it feared losing credibility. What would be the most ethical option for the company? Ethical. So think about it. The, let's summarize. That's always our step one. Step one is there was some company which developed a product, and after selling the product, it realizes there are some problems in the product. Okay. Now, what should the company do? It has two options. If you recall the product, it's going to be a huge, huge loss to the company. But if you don't tell any, I mean, and then the problem is, एक तो huge loss, दूसरा होगा you would lose credibility. Second is you don't tell anything. You don't tell anything about the defects to the customers. So you've got two options. Question is, what would be the most ethical thing? Ethical, stress on the word ethical. And because they are using the word ethical, I think the best option would be, if I do a pre-thinking, the best option would be tell your mistake. Tell your mistake. If there is a mistake, if there is a defect, tell the mistake to the customers. Tell people, tell customers about the bug. That's the most ethical thing, right? Question is anyway about what is the most ethical thing. So tell customers about the bug. That's the most ethical thing. And I don't know if you have read it. This happens with some cars as well. You know what? There have been instances when car manufacturers have recalled cars and it has cost them millions of rupees. Why? Because some bugs were detected later after the cars were sold. And this has happened before. So the best thing is tell customers about the bug. That's the most ethical thing. Let's get started with the options. People are saying A. So I'll go with B first. B. Do not tell customers about the bugs and remove only when customers face problem. Even it means losses for the customers. Remember that cannot be ethical. That cannot be ethical. So B cannot be yours. C. Keep silent. No, not ethical. Keep silent but introduce an improved product that is bug free at the earliest. No, not ethical. E. Take the product off the mark and apologize to customers. This is a good option. take the product off the mark and apologize to customers. Okay, this is a good option. We will check if this is most ethical. Or A is apologize and fix up the bug for all customers, even if it has to incur losses. So among A and E, think about it. A is more feasible. E is saying just take off the product only, take away the product, let the product no longer be there in the market. That will lead to billions and billions of losses probably. So among A and E, both are ethical, but A is more practical, right? You fix the bug and then give the product back to the customer. Most ethical, I would say ethical, and more importantly, practical. Answer is option. Same, right? Priyanka, if the option ethical would not have been mentioned, then also it would have been the same, right? Even if it is not ethical, is not mentioned. Remember, every answer option that you mark in the Z, the first thing that you got to remember is it got to be ethical. It got to be ethical. So even if ethical is not mentioned, option A will be your answer because nothing in the Z, okay, nothing, and I mean nothing, can be an answer which is unethical. Okay, anything unethical can never be an answer in the Z. Remember that. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So number 4 on your screen. 2 minutes, all yours. Try to get me an answer. Sorry. Read it carefully. Soumya tells me option B. Okay. Gonna check. Gonna check. Soumya is saying option B. The cooler tells me option B. Shreya tells me option B. Gonna check. Akash is saying B, Ronak is saying B. Kya baat hai? You all make me happy for the reason that you all give me one answer. Now, whether you are correct or wrong, we'll have to check. But everyone is thinking on the same lines. We will check. Ayushi tells me option B. Priyanka is option B. Everyone is B. Nanlal is option B. Great, great, great. Okay. Shall we do it together in the interest of time? Shall we do it together? एक साथ करें? Let's do it together in the interest of time. Let's do it together. Fine? Okay. Start karte hain. You, a recruitment manager, are interviewing Mayank, a hardworking young man, okay, who has problems in speaking fluent English. He has studied in vernacular medium. Vernacular matlab mother tongue, right? Mother. So if you are a Bengali, probably you might have studied in the Bengali medium. A vernacular medium schools and colleges. Amongst the following options, what would you choose to do if your company has vacancies? Now think about it. You are a hiring manager. You want to hire a guy. The only problem with the guy is very hardworking. The only problem is he cannot speak fluent English. So what should you do? What should you do? Now think about it. The passage clearly tells you that the guy is a hardworking guy, hardworking young man. Only problem is he cannot speak fluent English like you, right? So think about it. What would be the pre-thought? What would be your pre-thinking? Pre-thinking means I've summarized it. I'm trying to think an answer. Simple, right? I think I would hire him and train him in English. Remember, English में ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा सीखने में. कितना time लगेगा? You all have mastered English in 1 year, right? I mean, VRC for the cat, right, was mastered in a year. So don't you think even he can master it? So I think the easiest way for me would be hire this guy. Why? Because the passage clearly says he's hardworking. So hire this guy, hire and train him in English. And train him in English. That's gonna be my answer. Right? Chalo, start karte hain. Option 1. Remember, pre-thinking is very important because it helps you set the direction, in which direction you are going to think. That's very important. Okay. Option A. I would hire him at all cost. Yeah, you definitely hire him at all cost. No, at all cost could be too extreme, but yeah, this could be an answer. I will hold on. People are saying B, so we'll come back. C. I would hire him for production or finance job, but not for marketing job, which requires good communication skills. Not a very convincing answer. It says that finance people do not need good English, but that's not the case, right? Even if you're a finance guy, even if you might be the CFO of the company, don't you think you need to speak well, right? And this is also giving very, I would say, very narrow answers. You are saying that only for this particular job I'm going to hire him. Not a very good answer, but yeah, I'm not ruling it out still. We'll hold on. D. I would ask him to improve his communication skills and come back again. Too extreme. You cannot reject a guy just because he's not good in English. Remember, they are saying he's not good in fluent English. He might be good in his vernacular language. So, communication skills is not only about English. But again, you are not going to reject a guy just because his communication skills are not up to the mark. Option D definitely can be eliminated. A. I would not hire him as he might be a burden on the organization because of his poor communication skills. No, not really. Why will you not hire him? And why do you think he's going to be a burden on the organization? E cannot be answered. What about B? I would hire him for the job he's good at and provide training in other areas. Awesome. Among A, B, and C, I think B is the perfect answer, right? It matches our pre-thinking also. Hire him, but train him in English, right? As simple as that. Answer is, are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? I think this was an easy one too. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Are we clear? Clear? Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, let's try out the next one. Okay. थोड़ा लंबा वाला है ये. It's a bit lengthy one, but definitely read it carefully. I'll give you 2 minutes. All yours. 2 minutes. All yours. Read it carefully, and there are 5 questions, 4 or 5 questions on this slide, 4 or 5 questions of this passage. So please read it carefully. Take 2 minutes, take 3 minutes, read it, summarize it, and the next 4 or 5 questions are based on this passage. Okay. You know that sometimes in the XAT the passages are really long. The best part is if you get a long passage, there'll be 3, 4 questions underneath that. So if you read the passage correctly, understand the passage correctly, high chances you can score four, you can get 4 questions correct. Read it carefully. These are all XAT past year questions. देख लो आंसर आ रहा है कि आंसर मतलब क्या पहले तो रीड करो रीड इट केयरफुली मैंने बीच का पार्ट ब्लू कर दिया so that it's easy to read nothing beyond that okay the blue part is not that it's important it's just that I changed the color so that it becomes more readable nothing else read it very carefully three I think the next 4 questions are based on this passage summarize it once you read it please summarize it in your own words that's also very important. Can you summarize the entire paragraph at once? You can't. So probably read 4 lines, summarize, read another 4 lines, summarize, follow that strategy. For most of you, this could be too long a passage to summarize it in one single reading. Once you are done, just type it in the YouTube comments that you are done and I will go to the question slide. Once you are done, just type it in the comments, okay, that you are done. Okay, Shreya is saying done. Naman is saying it's a complex one. Naman, English में तो है क्या complex होगा? English में ही लिखा है. Generally 4 lines का जगह 10 line होगा. That's it. Gaurav is also saying done. Okay, another 30 seconds before I go to the question slide. Another 30 seconds. I hope you have summarized it. That summary is very important. If you are not able to summarize, it would be an issue. Okay, fine. A lot of people are saying done. So I'll go to the questions. Okay, let's start. Question number 5 on your screen. Tell me the answer. 90 seconds. Naman is saying time take. Yeah, definitely time take. But remember the good part? 4 questions, Naman. 4 questions सही हो जाएगा अगर वो सही से पकड़ लिया तो. 90 seconds, all yours. Type the answer once you get it. Type the answer once you get it. Naman is saying option B. Okay. The cooler, Gaurav, Shalu, Ronak, Nanlal, Shreya. Kya baat hai? People give me one answer. Okay, we'll check. We will check. Anshifa. Okay. People are saying option B. You know, whether you are correct is something we are going to check. Whether you are correct is something we are going to check. Okay. Okay. People are saying Bay. A lot of you have already marked your answer. I think we will do it together in the interest of time. Okay. In the interest of time, let's start. चलो एक साथ करते हैं. एक साथ करते हैं in the interest of time. Okay. Let's start. Mr. Rajiv Singhal, chairman of the board of directors of Loha India Limited, a steel manufacturing company, had just been visited by several other directors of the company. Okay, the chairman has been visited by directors. The directors were upset with recent actions of the company president, Mr. Ganesh Thakur. They demanded that the board consider firing the president. Okay, so whenever I say okay, it's not just an okay, right? I take that pause, I absorb it in my mind because remember it's a long passage. So I whenever there's a full stop, there's a punctuation mark. It's important that you take a pause, right? Very, very, very important. Mr. Thakur, recently appointed as president, had undertaken to solve some of the management employee problems by dealing directly with the individuals as often as possible. Okay, now I think I need to take a step back and try to summarize what is happening. Some directors of the company are complaining to the chairman. Okay, names are not important. The story is important. What is the story? The story is directors of the company are complaining to the company chairman about what? About the president. They're complaining about the president. What are they complaining? They're saying that please fire the president. Why? Because you know what? The president is new and what he's trying to do, he's trying to solve management employee problems by directly talking with the individual. Think about it. It's like Modi ji talking directly to you and me about our problems. It's like Modi ji talking directly to the laborers about the problems. Remember, there's a hierarchy. If there is a problem, Modi ji will probably consult Amit Shah. Amit Shah will consult the police officers, and there is a hierarchy, right? But what here they are saying is the president, or probably in this case, let's think about Modi ji. Why I keep saying Modi ji is because people will be able to understand it better. Modi ji is probably connecting with the laborers directly and trying to solve the problems one on one, and hence others are upset. Why upset? Because he has bypassed the hierarchy. That's the problem. Okay, so let's continue. The company did not have a history of strikes or any other form of collective action and was considered to have good work culture. However, Mr. Thakur felt that by dealing directly with individuals, he could portray the management's concern for the employees. Okay, तो आगे बोल रहा है, you know what? It's not necessary for Modi ji to connect with the laborers directly because the company never had any such problems. There was no union and it was a good place to work with. But Modi ji thinks that if you talk directly to the laborers, you can understand their problems better and probably you can show that you are concerned about them more. That's what Modi ji thinks. An important initiative of Mr. Thakur was to negotiate wages of the supervisors, was to negotiate wages of each of the supervisors. Okay, Mr. Thakur is the president, and in this negotiation meetings, he would not involve anyone else including the personnel department, which reported to him so as to take unbiased decisions. After negotiation, a wage contract would be drawn up for each supervisor. This, he felt, would recognize and reward the better performance. Mr. Thakur, the president, successfully implemented the process for most of the supervisors except those working in the night shift. So I think it's time for me to take a summarized view again, because it all depends, right? After how many lines should you do a summary? It all depends how comfortable you are. Someone might be comfortable reading 10 lines and then doing a summary. Do that. Someone might be comfortable reading only 3 lines and then he starts feeling a bit of uneasiness. Summarize them. 3 lines, stop, summarize, then read the whole thing. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? The president is dealing directly with the laborers, and for me to explain, I'm using Modi ji. So Modi ji is dealing directly with the laborers, and one thing he's doing is he's also deciding the salary of the laborers, salary of the wages of the laborers, and he's not involving anyone. He's talking directly one-on-one, deciding the salary, and then he's doing it for all laborers who work in the day shift. That's the story till now. Okay, let's continue. For several days, Ram Lal, a night shift supervisor, had been trying to seek an appointment with Mr. Thakur about his wages. He was disgruntled matlab dissatisfied, unhappy, not only over his failure to see the president, but also over the lack of discussions about his wage contract prior to its being effected. As a family man with 6 dependents, he felt his weekly wage should be higher than that granted to him. So then we talk about one employee from the night shift. Remember, Modi ji has met everyone from the day shift, but he did not meet people from the night shift. So one of the employees from the night shift is very unhappy. He believes that no one is listening to him, and then he is trying to meet Modi ji because he believes that he deserves a higher salary. Okay. Last Thursday afternoon, Ram Lal stopped by the president's office and tried to see him. Mr. Thakur's secretary, Thakur was the president, refused his request on the grounds that Mr. Thakur was busy. Infuriated means angry, very angry. Ram Lal stormed into the president's office and confronted the startled Mr. Thakur, which stood up and told Ram Lal to get out of his office and express his grievance through official channel. Ram Lal took a swing at the president, who in turn punched Ram Lal on the jaw and knocked him unconscious. क्या बात हो रहा है, right? तो क्या हुआ? ये जो employee था was very dissatisfied. So one fine day he goes to Modi ji's office and then confronts him that why are you not increasing my salary? Why are you not talking to me? So Miss Modi ji gets very angry that how can you just walk into my office like that? So he tells this laborer, please get out of the office, right? And the laborer gets infuriated. So what he tries to do? He tries to take a swing at the president. Swing is something like ऐसे मारने का कोशिश किया, right? But मार नहीं पाया. हुआ क्या? I can't talk about Modi ji anymore. I'll now say Mr. Ganesh. So what did Mr. Ganesh do? He punched the laborer on the jaw and knocked him unconscious. So Modi ji ka office mein gaya. The laborer was angry. He tried to punch Mr. Thakur, the president. And what happened was he could not punch the president. Rather, the president punched him and he knocked the laborer unconscious. Interesting story, right? That completes the story. I took a lot of time. I was summarizing it, rephrasing it. Apna time laga raha tha padhne ke liye. You know the good part? At the end of this 3 minutes, I'm super confident that whatever was there in this lamba sa passage is there in my head. And if it is there in my head, when I read the question, I'll be in a better position to answer it. So I took your time and I strongly recommended you to take your time on the 8th of January when you go and write the XAT, right? Okay. Swing in turn. Who in turn? So basically, what happened? Priyanka is asking what swing in turn means. So basically, the laborer tried to hit the president. Right? But he missed it. And what happened? The president actually punched the laborer. He punched Ram Lal on the jaw and knocked him unconscious. स्विंग इन टर्न मतलब समथिंग लाइक दिस, ऐसे करके मारने का कोशिश किया, ऐसे करके घुसा मारने का कोशिश किया, राइट? बॉक्सिंग में जो होता है ना, फॉरगेट अबाउट व्हाट वाज द एक्शन, इट वाज अबाउट laborer trying to hit the president, he missed, and the president in turn hit him on the jaw and knocked him down. That's the story, right? How, when, not important, right? Okay, chalo, let's get started with the questions. First one, the most important casual factor for this entire episode could be casual factor. Now, what was the factor? Meaning root cause. Question is asking, what was the root cause? Root cause. Now, think about it. I am trying to do a pre-thing. What was the root cause? The root cause pucha hai, right? What is the root cause? The root cause was Modi ji treating the employees differently, right? He talked to the day employees, but he did not take time out to talk to the night employees, right? There was the problem. Someone was expecting that you talk to Modi ji one on one, but he did not get a chance. So I would say the problem here, the root cause here, what was the root cause? Employee was dissatisfied. Why was he dissatisfied? Because he could not meet the president. And why did he think that he would be able to meet the president? Because the president met every day employee. So can I say the problem was, the root cause was president meeting and talking only to select and talking only to day employees, only to day employees, or I can put it other way, he did not talk to the night employees. Remember? So remember, think about it. अगर कल मोदी जी आता है और तुम सबसे बात करता है और मेरे से बात नहीं करता है, I probably would be infuriated, I probably would be angry, and I have the right to do so, right? So I think the problem was that the president did not talk to all the employees. If he did not talk to any employee, that would have been fine. But he talked to some and he did not talk to all. There lies the problem. So let's look at the option. Trying to follow divide and rule policy in his dealings with the supervisors. No one tried to follow a divide and rule policy, right? That was not intentional. Option A cannot be answered. C, paternalistic approach towards mature individuals in the organization. There is no approach. Paternalistic approach. Kya hi hota hai? No, there is no approach as such. Legalistic approach to employee problems. No. Inadequate standards for measurement of supervisors on job performance. No, that's not the case. The case was the president did not have a consistent dealing. Consistent dealing nahi kiya. What was consistent? The consistent approach would have been you meet with every employee, both night shift and day shifts, and then talk to them. If you talked only to a subset of the employees, obviously that would have infuriated and angered the others. Answer is option B. Option B. Legalistic approach क्या हुआ? Legalistic approach. What is the meaning of legalistic? Someone is asking legalistic का मतलब क्या है? Legalistic मतलब following the legal route. You know what was the legal route? The legal route was Modi ji should not have talked to the employees directly, the laborers directly. मोदी जी को अमित शाह से बात करना चाहिए था, अमित शाह वो सीएम से बात करता, सीएम पुलिस ऑफिसर से बात करता, पुलिस ऑफिसर कांस्टेबल भेजता, कांस्टेबल जाके लेबरर से बात करता, वो बन जाता लीगलिस्टिक अप्रोच, right? That was not the problem. If Modi ji wants to talk to you and me, it's good only, right? The only thing is that you probably have to have a consistent approach, not inconsistent. There lies the problem. Answer is option B. Are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? Gaurav, यहाँ पे देखो, Gaurav is asking, sir, took a swing means took a swing. Ramlal took a swing at the president. Took a swing at the president. Okay, took a swing. तो वो मारने का कोशिश किया. Took a swing at the president. Now लगा कि नहीं लगा again? I mean, he tried to hit the president. देखो कैसे झगड़ा हुआ, that's not important, right? He tried to hit the president, or president in turn also hit Ramlal on the jaw. Now लगा नहीं लगा, I mean, he took a swing. Probably लग गया होगा, probably नहीं लगा होगा. Do we have to get the details? No, there was a झगड़ा. There was a fight. That's more than enough, right? Don't get into the minute details, otherwise you'll miss the big picture. They got into a fight. Now लगा नहीं लगा, कैसे मारा, jaw पे मारा, आँख पे मारा, not important. Got into a fight. That's it. There was the problem. Problem is fight हो गया, physical हो गया. That's it. Right? चलो, let's go to the next one. Control कर लिया होगा. चलो, number 6 on your screen. Number 6, 2 minutes. See, don't get into the minute details, okay? You lose the big picture. झगड़ा हो गया, उतना समझ में आ गया तो sufficient है ना? 2 minutes, all yours. read it carefully, read it carefully, summarize it, and then pre-think and only then mark the answer. गौरव इज सेइंग इट मे बी इंपॉर्टेंट, नहीं पूछेगा गौरव, ऐसा थोड़ी पूछेगा कि कहां पे कौन किसको मारा था, वो थोड़ी पूछेगा, राइट? झगड़ा हुआ था तो पूछेगा कि मैनेजर झगड़ा कैसे रिजॉल्व कर सकता था, मैनेजर कैसे झगड़ा को अवॉइड कर सकता था, वो सब पूछेगा, कैसे मारा क्यों पूछेगा? हाँ जी, वेट कर रहे हैं, किसी को आंसर आ गया तो डेफिनेटली टाइप करना ऑप्शन में। दीज आर वंडरफुल क्वेश्चंस, राइट? कितना मजेदार क्वेश्चंस है ना जैट का। 99 परसेंटाइल है तो मेरे को चाहिए चाहिए, एंड डेफिनेटली कम बैक टू मी, ड्रॉप मी अ मैसेज एंड टेल मी सर 99 परसेंटाइल आ गया जैट में। Naman is saying option E. Okay, gonna check. Cooler is saying option E. Gonna check. Gonna check. Any other answer? Any other answer? Nanlal is saying option E. Kya baat hai? All my students think alike. Gaurav, Ayushi, Shreya, sab koi bol raha hai option E. Now whether you are correct, I don't know. I'm saying option E because some of you are saying option E. Akash bhi bol raha hai option E. Mohammed, Hinal, Tanishka, everyone. Okay, finally I have a different answer. That's what I always want, right? Multiple answers. So E answer aaya, and Tanishka is saying option A. Okay, I have got two answers still. सबका सेम आंसर देखने कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है, बाय द वे। ओके, नमन इज सेइंग कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है सबका अगर सेम आंसर आया। ओके, आई थिंक वी गॉट टू डू दिस टुगेदर। I think we got to do this together. So let's get started. Let's get started in the interest of time. The situation with Mr. Lal, Lal was the laborer, could have been avoided if Mr. Thakur, Thakur president tha, right, had. Okay. How could you have avoided the situation? That's the question. And before I read these four options, I'm just reading the question. The option that best arranges the above managerial interventions in decreasing order of organizational impact is decreasing order. So always remember, decreasing order का मतलब होता है most effective, okay, to least effective. Most effective to least effective. क्या करता, right? How could you have avoided the situation? That's the question. How could you have avoided the situation? Most effective to the least effective. There are four options and you got to arrange them in order. So as I already said, the most effective way this could have been avoided is if you had a uniform policy to everyone. Don't you think? सबके साथ एक ही policy. अगर मोदी जी किसी को meet कर रहा है, he's gonna meet every laborer who is around. Can he pick and choose? No, he should not have. You have the right to do a pick and choose, but that should be based on some logical and some logical decision कि चलो 100 लोगों में से ये 3 को मिलेंगे, but based on some criteria. If you randomly pick up only the day shift people and leave out the night shift, then that will create disappointment, anger. So the most effective way would have been uniform approach. That's what I would have said. Uniform approach. That was missing, right? Uniform approach मतलब day shift night shift दोनों को मिलता है. Uniform approach to what? Day shift plus night shift employees. Remember, Modi ji did not meet the night shift employees, so a uniform approach would have been to meet the day shift and night shift, and that would have been the root cause. तुम्हारा root cause था. That was the root cause. So you should have addressed the root cause, and that would have been the most effective solution. That's my thought process. With that thought process in mind, let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, चलो start करते हैं. Option 1, delegated the task of negotiation of wage contract for night shift employees to personal department. Okay, I don't know कैसा लगता मेरे को. लॉजिकली सोचो, मतलब मोदी जी तुमसे बात किया लेकिन मेरे से बात करने के लिए कोई पुलिस को भेज दिया, कोई लोकल आदमी को भेज दिया. I don't think that would have been a very good thing. I would have been disappointed कि तुमको मिलने मोदी जी खुद आया, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंपनी खुद आया, और मेरे को बात करने के लिए कोई लोकल आदमी को, छोटा मोटा आदमी को भेज दिया. I would not have liked it, not neither loved it, not desired it. Option 1, not a very good option. Not a very good option, right? So option 1, I'll keep it on hold. Not a very good option. Number 2, create a process for supervisors working the night shift so that they could have an opportunity to interact with him. 2. This is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. You know what? This is what I was saying. You would have created a process, right, which would have enabled people in the night shift to meet Modi ji. That would have been the best thing to do. People wanted to meet Modi ji, so you should have created a process where people could have met you. Very good. I think 2, I liked it. 2, I definitely like it. Number 3, create an open door policy that would have allowed employees to see him without any appointment. Now, not bad, but again, 2 or 3 में से तुम logically सोचो. If Modi ji brings in such a policy that anyone can come in without an appointment, then I'm sure Modi ji will not get a chance to sleep also at night, right? कुछ करने को मिलेगा ही नहीं, because everyone will go and try to meet Modi ji. So among 2 and 3, I would definitely say 2 is better. Why? Because 2 is uniform. 2 is uniform, right? 3 में problem ये हो जाएगा कि day shift को you met them and night shift के लिए you are not meeting, but you are saying open door, किसी को भी problem है आ जाओ. Not very feasible. So 2 and 3 में से 2 definitely is better. Let's look at 4. Postpone the decision of wage revision for supervisors in the night shift for 2 months, since supervisors were rotated on different shift after every 2 months. Now think about it. Day shift वाला आदमी को मिल गया हाइक, लेकिन नाइट शिफ्ट वाले को हाइक मिलेगा ही नहीं. दो महीना रुकने बोलेगा. Don't you think among the 4 options, option 4 is the worst? Why? Because it is saying I'll give a hike to day shift people, but night shift I'm not going to give them anything. They have to wait for another 2 months. I would say option 4 is the worst and would have created the maximum resentment, maximum bitterness. Had I been in your place, I will just go and see which option, कौन सा option में number 4 is the last one. Number 4 should be the last one. And among the given options, only option E may number 4 is the last one. So definitely option E is your answer. And you can easily say, right, order is also 2, 3, 1, 4. 2 सबसे desirable, उसके बाद 3 आएगा, उसके बाद 1 आएगा, and obviously the last thing is 4. So always when you are doing arranging things, right, in 36 hours from now, you're going to write the ZAT. You know what? जब भी ऐसे arrange करने के लिए आएगा ना question, either try to look for the best thing or the worst thing and then eliminate the answers. नहीं तो कब हमेशा problem होगा. If you want to see पूरा arrange करना है ना, problem आएगा. Make use of the answer options. Try to figure out the best one or the worst one and accordingly eliminate options. Trust me, if you do that, you're going to get it correct. Otherwise, such questions where to arrange it in order is going to be very difficult in the exam. Okay? Followed? Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Naman is saying 2 should be first, single option. There you go. Perfect. Naman is absolutely correct. So I hope people who have marked option A got your answer. Yes? इस बार DM में 18 प्लस आएगा आकाश, सबको आएगा, क्यों नहीं आएगा? चलो, let's go to the next one. Number 7 on your screen. 90 seconds, all yours. 90 seconds, all yours. Try to get me an answer. Okay, Mohammed tells me it's option B. Okay. 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 Gaurav tells me it's option B. Jagriti is saying divide and rule. Divide and rule मतलब British करता था ना कि Jagriti is asking sir divide and rule. Divide and rule मतलब Jagriti, you are making sure that people fight among themselves. People fight among themselves. You are talking only to day shift employees so that night shift feels bad about it and they fight among themselves. So divide and rule. You are going to divide people. You are going to make sure that some of them support you and some of them don't support you. That's divide and rule for you, Jagriti. Naman, Shreya, Priyanka, the cooler, Anshifa, everyone is saying option B. Okay, gonna check. Let's start. In the interest of time, let's get started. Chalo, start karte. Okay. The most likely premise behind Mr. Thakur's, the president's initiative regarding individualized meetings with supervisors seems to be, why is Modi ji meeting people himself? Very simple. I think it's an easy question. Pre-thinking. If Modi ji meets people himself, कल अगर सबको बोलता है कि आ जाओ मेरा घर में लो कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो बात करो, why do you think? I think that would just be because of one thing: goodwill. Goodwill. He would want to create goodwill among everyone. Goodwill. And remember, this was there in the passage also. Passage में भी ये था ना, Mr. Thakur, if you read this, right? कहाँ पे है? लिखा होता है Mr. Thakur felt that by dealing directly, can you see this? Mr. Thakur felt that by dealing directly with individuals, he could portray the management's concern for the employees. Concern. Management's concern. Goodwill generate करना है. That's it. Right? So why did Mr. Modi meet people himself? He wants to create goodwill. That's it. चलो start करते हैं options. Option A, employee related policies should allow scope for bargaining. No, that's not the reason. People are saying B, so we'll come back to B, we'll see. C, individual agreements with supervisors will allow the management to prevent any possible collective action. No, that's not the reason. D, management will be able to force supervisors to accept lesser wages. No, that's not the reason again. E, he would be able to know who the troublemakers. Now, Modi ji has got too many important things to figure out. Ki troublemakers kaun hai. That's not Modi ji's job, right? What's the reason? Involvement of the company's president in wage problems of employees will lead to a better goodwill towards the management among the workers. Super awesome. That's going to be your answer. Answer is option B. I think it's an easy one. Correct? So I hope you are. Do you see that? जब भी पैसेज लंबा होता है ना, क्वेश्चन आसान होता है. जहां भी पैसेज लंबा दिख रहा है ना, क्वेश्चन आसान मिलेगा तुमको. I hope you are noticing that. Let's go to the next one. Number 8. Okay, 90 seconds, all yours. 90 seconds, all yours. Arrangement wala was cakewalk. Absolutely, Naman. जब समझ में आ जाता है ना पैसेज, तब केक वॉक ही लगेगा सब कुछ. समराइज करना, प्रीथिंक करना, ट्रस्ट मी, हर चीज केक वॉक लगेगा. समराइज, प्रीथिंक एंड हर चीज केक वॉक लगेगा तुमको. Okay, Mohammed is saying option B. Okay, gonna check. The cooler tells me option B. Okay, Naman tells me option B. Absolutely, Priyanka. Good tips. A passage long, the question is easy. Obviously, that's how it is. Akash is saying option B. Okay. हाँ जी, wait कर रहा हूं मैं. किसी को और कोई दूसरा आंसर लग रहा है क्या? Anyone feels it's gonna be a different answer? Gaurav tells me it's option B. Shreya tells me it's option B. Wow, everyone, all of my students think alike. All of them think alike. Any other answer? Any other answer? Nanlal also saying option B. Okay. So I think in the interest of time, Ayushi is also saying B. We'll do it together. In the interest of time, we will do it together. Start karte. Out of the following, which one seems to be the most likely cause of Ramlal's grievance? Grievance. Ramlal was the laborer. So uska problem kya tha? Main problem kya tha? Let's do a pre-thinking. So if you remember, the main problem was he could not meet the president. Could not meet president. Could not meet president, and he felt president was biased. And he felt president was biased. नहीं बोलेंगे. I won't say bias is the word. Could, and he felt president was probably bias is not the correct word, but again, let's use bias for the lack of appropriate word, was biased in his actions. It's not exactly biased, but remember what I'm trying to say is, सिर्फ एक शिफ्ट, डे शिफ्ट का एम्प्लॉयज को मोदी जी मिला, नाइट शिफ्ट का नहीं मिला, and hence that guy was very disappointed. उसको लगा सैलरी कम है, लोग मिल भी नहीं रहे, और सबको मिल रहा है मॉर्निंग शिफ्ट वाला. That was the problem, right? चलो, with that, let's get started. Option A, his disappointment with the management's philosophy of having one-to-one interaction, as the supervisors were in a way being forced to accept the wage contracts. Remember, Ram Lal was the laborer. He was not disappointed that he could not speak to his supervisor. He was happy that Modi ji had come to meet him, right? So he was no way disappointed that he could not interact with the supervisors. Option A definitely cannot be answered. Sorry. He was not allowed to meet chairman of the board of directors. No, चेयरमैन को मीट करना ही नहीं था. चेयरमैन के पास तो लोग कंप्लेन लेके गया है, तो प्रेसिडेंट के पास तो आई मीन चेयरमैन के पास थोड़ी किसी को मिलना था, राइट? तो द्रौपदी आई मीन प्रेसिडेंट द्रौपदी को द्रौपदी मुर्मू को किसी को मिलना नहीं था, सबको तो मोदी जी को मिलना था. तो सी इज डेफिनेटली नॉट द आंसर. D. Employment in the night shift forced him to stay away from his family during the daytime, and therefore he could not interact with his family members much. कुछ भी बोल रहा है, जैट वाला कुछ भी बोल रहा है, फैमिली मेंबर्स को मिल नहीं पाया. ये सब तो आउटसाइड द पैसेज है, थोड़ी है पर्सनल कुछ हो रहा है यहाँ पे, right? So option D cannot be answer. E, all of these obviously cannot be the answer. Answer is B. His being in the night shift has worked to his disadvantage as he could not interact with the management regarding his problem. Answer is right. So any doubt? Any doubt in this? I'm looking at the YouTube comments. I think it's easy. Yes. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Another 2 minutes. Sorry, 90 seconds. 90 seconds. All yours. 90 seconds. All yours. इसके अकॉर्डिंग 99 तो आ जाना चाहिए. नमन 99 आएगा. इसका अकॉर्डिंग नहीं. I'm sure you'll get 99. But थोड़ा मतलब होता है ना, तो केयरफुली करना. That's my only request. Just be a bit careful. Don't hurry up. Right? Very scoring part है ये. जल्दी जल्दी में मत कर देना बस. Ayushi gives me a compliment saying, "Sir, you are amazing." Thank you, Ayushi. Mohammed is saying option C. Okay. The cooler is saying option A. दो आंसर आया अभी तक दो आंसर आया है. C और A आया है. Okay. I've got two answers till now. C and A. Okay. The cooler seems to have deleted his answer. Okay. Naman is saying 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 is C. Okay. Sorry, wrongly marked A. It's C. Okay. Gonna check. Gonna check. लॉजिकली सोचना. बाकी लोग कुछ आंसर दे रहा है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि यू ऑल्सो थिंक द सेम. You got to have your own mindset. You got to have your own thinking process. Gaurav tells me C, Shreya tells me C, Nanlal tells me C. Okay, gonna check. Gonna check. Yes. Waiting. Waiting. Any other answer that you think could be correct here? Any other answer? No? All my students think alike, is it? Priyanka tells me it's option C as well. Okay, gonna check. Any other answer? Akash is also saying C. Okay, okay, interesting. सब कोई C बोल रहा है. Okay, we'll have to check. 4 is the most irrelevant. Okay, Gaurav has a good point. He's saying that he's trying to eliminate and he's saying 4 eliminate कर रहा है, इसलिए probably he's giving me an answer C. Okay, we'll check. Okay, let's do it together. In the interest of time, let's do it together. Apart from the supervisors working the night shift, executives of which department will have more justified reasons to be disgruntled with Mr. Thakur's initiative? So remember, question is night shift wala employees, so they are dissatisfied. But apart from the night shift, who else is dissatisfied? Now think about it. Who else is dissatisfied? I'm trying to do a pre-thinking. I am trying to do a pre-thinking. Okay? Pre-thinking में, if you remember, लोग कंप्लेन करके गया था इसके पास. Who was complaining? People who were complaining were the directors. Remember, the directors were upset. So directors were upset, and other people were also upset. Why? Because no one was involved in the talks. Modi ji and the laborers one-on-one direct. So if Modi ji talks directly to the laborers, think about it. कौन upset होगा? Amit Shah upset हो जाएगा. The CM, the chief ministers of the states would be upset. Why? He's bypassed everyone. So if you had to ask me, I would say who would be upset? I would say the directors would be upset, plus all people who were initially involved, who were earlier involved in the talks, who were earlier involved in the talks. Will you agree? Why? Because now Modi ji has taken all powers himself. तो खुद से बात करते हैं तो पहले जो लोग वो काम करता था वो डिसअपॉइंटेड होगा कि पहले तो मैं इसका सैलरी डिसाइड करता था, अभी जहां मोदी जी खुद से डिसाइड करता है, राइट? सो एवरीवन वाज इन्वॉल्वड अर्लियर वुड बी डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड द डायरेक्टर्स, दैट्स व्हाट द पैसेज सेज. विद दैट लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड. पहला वाला, production department for not being consulted regarding the behavior of the supervisors on the shop floor. Okay. To be honest, if I read number one, I have no comments. I don't know if the production department would be disappointed. I'm doubtful, to be honest. I don't know. I will hold on. I will take help of the answer options. So I'll hold on. Number two, finance department for not taken into confidence regarding the financial consequences of the wage context. Definitely finance department disappointed hoga. Why? Remember question, the passage clearly said that Modi ji खुद से salary decide कर लेता था, खुद से salary decide कर लेता था. यहाँ पे कहीं लिखा हुआ था ना, after negotiation a wage contract would be drawn up for each supervisor, right? And he draws the contract unilaterally, matlab khud se, without discussing with anyone. So finance department generally should be involved in deciding the salary, but Modi ji is not involving them. So definitely the finance department is gonna be disappointed. Two to definitely disappointed. Definitely disappointed. What about three? Marketing department. Marketing वाला तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, खुश रहेगा. Why? Creating a goodwill, creating positive vibes. मोदी के लेबरर्स को मिल रहा है खुद से, पूरा न्यू चैनल्स एवरीवेयर शोइंग, देखो मोदी जी खुद से आके लेबरर्स को मिल रहा है, खुद से बात करके सैलरी डिसाइड कर रहा है. All your media channels are gonna go gala over it. And for the marketing department, what more would they need? They would be on cloud nine. They would be super happy. So marketing department, definitely they are gonna be very happy. तो तुम्हारा आंसर ऑप्शन में ऑप्शन 3 तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए. ऑप्शन 3 तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए. मतलब ए इज गॉन, डी इज गॉन, ई इज गॉन. बी और सी में से कोई होगा, बिकॉज मार्केटिंग डिपार्टमेंट तो खूब हैप्पी होगा, कुछ करना ही नहीं है, सब मीडिया वाला खुद से बता रहा है, राइट? क्वालिटी कंट्रोल for not being able to give inputs to Mr. Thakur on how to improve quality of steel making. Again, outside the scope. ये वेज सैलरी निगोशिएशन का बात हो रहा है, तो क्वालिटी कंट्रोल कहां से आ गया? दे आर नॉट गोना बी बॉदर्ड अबाउट इट. ऑप्शन 4 आल्सो कैन नॉट बी अ पार्ट ऑफ योर आंसर. तो 3 and 4 डेफिनेटली कैन नॉट बी अ पार्ट. 4 भी नहीं होगा, तो एलिमिनेट करो 4 को. सो among B and C, only B has got 4. Without even putting a lot of brains, lot of thinking, I can easily mark option C. 5, personal department. Remember, personal department पहले सैलरी देखता था, पर अभी मोदी जी खुद से करता है, तो पर्सनल डिपार्टमेंट हैज नो अदर वर्क. सो ऑब्वियसली they are also gonna be dissatisfied. Answer is option C. Answer is option C. Production, finance, personal. The good part is, you know what? Production, I was not sure. मेरे को नहीं मालूम था production क्या होगा. But I took help of the answer options, and with the answer option, I can say production department would also have been unhappy. Right? Okay. Priyanka is saying, sir, I think personal department will disappoint more than finance because it was their job firstly to handle this thing. Isn't it? Absolutely. But remember, Priyanka, they are not asking you to arrange it in order. Are they asking you to arrange it in descending order? No, right? So any order, but they're asking you which three. तो यहाँ पे descending order का बात नहीं हो रहा है, but definitely personal department सबसे ज्यादा unhappy होता. You are correct, Priyanka. Clear? Yes? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Number 10. Okay. बताओ. Number 10. क्या आंसर होगा? 60 seconds. All yours. And if you have observed it, 6 questions on one long passage. एक लंबा passage था, समझ में आ जाता तो 6 questions इस पे मिलता तुमको. Shreya says pre-thinking makes it easier. Absolutely, Shreya. Definitely pre-thinking. It's all about pre-thinking. All about pre-thinking. Naman Mohammed the cooler tells me it's optional, option D. Okay, we'll check. We will check. Some of you are saying option D. We will check. Ronak is saying D. Akash is saying D. Shreya is saying D. Danlal is saying D. Priyanka is saying D. Okay, gonna check. Gonna check. Anshifa is saying D. Okay. Any other answer? Any other answer? Okay. छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है, आई मीन शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन है, तो डेफिनेटली कर लेते एक साथ. Which of the following managerial attributes does Mr. Thakur seem to lack the most? Managerial attributes. skills, managerial. So remember, if I do a pre-thinking, he actually hit the laborer. He actually hit the laborer. So can I say uh, थोड़ा और calm होना चाहिए? Probably he might be a bit more calm, right? So I would say calmness, and probably patience, right? That's what I can think of. That's what I can think of, right? Remember, he hit the laborer. Just imagine the president of a company hitting the laborer. I mean, can't get worse. So, thoda calmness and patience was all that he required, and definitely anger management, right? Anger management. That's what he required, right? So, with this, let's check this. Emotional instability. Okay, proactive problem solving. That's not the case. There was nothing wrong with this problem solving. Ethical behavior, nothing wrong with his ethical behavior. Nowhere in the passage we have anything to suggest that the guy was unethical. Independent decision making. भाई पूरा ही independent था, खुद से सब decide करता था. So he was totally independent. Option A cannot be answered. So among A and D, A is saying emotional stability, yeah, emotional instability. What do you want? Do you want to be stable? Do you want to be emotionally stable, or do you want to be emotionally unstable? Obviously, I would want to be emotionally stable, right? Why would I want to be unstable? A cannot be your answer. Answer is, tell me, are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? So I think this passage was great. And I don't know if you have observed, I gave you the example of Modi ji. Why? Because you know what? You are able to connect better. It's my advice that whenever you read a passage, try to also connect it with probably characters, with leaders that you are very familiar with, right? Why? Because moment I connected the president of the company to Modi ji, and I connected Modi ji with Amit Shah and then the laborers, it became natural to you, right? Don't you think it became natural to you? And after that, you don't have to reread the passage again. That was actually something which you actually understood. My sincere advice, you get a passage, try to connect it with probably anyone. It could be Modi ji, Dhoni, Virat Kohli, anyone, but connect it with someone and then try to visualize the passage. It becomes easier. It helps you to remember the passage, especially when the passages are long, lengthy. It is important to remember it. You can't go back and keep reading it. It will take a lot of time. So if you have to remember the passage, what I summarize after every 3-4 lines. I do a pre-thinking, and many a times I also connected with people I follow, or probably people who are very famous, because that helps me to remember more. I mean, remember it much better. That's my advice to you. Few hours left for the ZAT. December 6th. I think in a few minutes it will be December 7th, and December 8th is your ZAT. I am sure you will do well, right? With that, I just want to let you know my upcoming classes. December 7th, Saturday, I'm not taking any decision making session because just one day left for the ZAT, and I don't want you to confuse you any further. We have done a lot of sessions, some 10-15 classes मैंने किया है इस पे. Make sure that you go through the videos. We have done different questions in every YouTube session. Make sure you master them. And tomorrow, Jan 7, 5 to 6 p.m., I'm going to talk all about IIM Ranchi, your percentile, whether you're going to get a call, whether it is worth taking admission in IIM Ranchi, what are their different weightages, how much percentage do they put on the CAT score, right? Placements, everything. And Sunday, 5 to 6 p.m. will be IIM Rohtak. And from Sunday onwards, I'm going to start something new. Never ever on Unacademy has this been done. I'm going to start with finance fundas. Fundas of finance. Okay, I don't know how many of you know me, but I am a CFA in finance. I am an FRM. These are some of the highest qualifications in finance. And I'm also an MBA in finance. And I love finance. That's my area of expertise as well. Come December 8th, Sunday onwards, I'm going to start some finance sessions, which will going to help you answer the questions. Why finance? What is investment banking in finance? Finance में होता क्या है? क्या पढ़ने जा रहे हो? ताकि when you go to an MBA interview, any B school, IIM or non-IIM, they're going to ask you, why MBA? So can you probably relate it to finance? I was an engineer. I never knew finance, and probably many of you might not have any background of finance. But trust me, इतना finance का concepts मैं तुमको बता दूंगा कि interview में you can actually tell them MBA in finance करना है मेरे को, and I know a lot of things about finance. That's my promise to you. With that note, I'm going to see you in my next session. Okay. And all the very best for your ZAT examination. Do well, come back to me and tell me you have done well. I'm going to be super excited about that. Yes? Okay. And anyone, anything that you wish to ask? Gaurav is saying we'll definitely follow the sessions. Hinal is saying, sir, can you please help for essay? Hinal, essay is again, I think someone asked me and I said that please speak to a verbal educator, your VRC educator, who would be the best person to talk about essay writing, right? That's not my area, and what's not my area, I tell you frankly, that's not my area. Okay. Akash is saying 94.68 percentile in CAD, EWS category. Wow, that's good, right? EWS category, Akash, you will definitely get calls from some of the top IIMs, right? So Akash, let's discuss. एक बार ZAT लिख लो और उसके बाद हम लोग ये सब डिस्कस करते हैं, right? After that we'll have sessions and discuss कि कहाँ पे call आ सकते हैं and how to prepare for that. Yeah, write the ZAT first. Priyanka is saying thank you and I wish you all the very best. And tomorrow I'm going to take sessions on I am Rachi and then I am Rohtak. No more ZAT sessions. Wish you the best and see you in my next sessions. And the Telegram group is mentioned here. Parikshit sir underscore cat. Can you see at the bottom of your screen? Parikshit sir underscore cat. His Telegram group page. Join Kalina so that we always stay connected. Yeah. Thank you, folks. And I see you in my next class. All the very best for XAT 2023. Bye for now.